We made Menace when we were 20, and I remember thinking that was normal. It wasn't too recently I started realizing how abnormal that was. I think, honestly, the reason why Bob Shane New Line decided to give this movie a chance, especially with two 20-year-olds like that hadn't done anything before, was, and I wouldn't have said this in the past, but I think Boys in the Hood had a lot to do with it.
Boys was a story about one kid who makes it out. And we wanted to examine, really, why so many kids don't make it out, and what are the reasons why they don't make it out.
Third day into the shoot, we thought our careers were over. And we also had the problem of some actors and crew members doubting the movie. I mean, there was an actor outright said, I don't know why I'm doing this shit. At the time, I remember feeling like, we just gotta get through this shit. Ironically, sometimes the days that feel like really bad make for better scenes. The days you feel like you really got something, most of the time you really don't have anything.
You motherfucking miss. Turn that motherfucking shit down. Nigga, what the fuck you want?
A real naive thing on our part was thinking that we can go down to the neighborhood and shoot around real Grape Street Crips and in Jordan Downs, the housing project, and actually employ the real gangsters. We were able to shoot there because at the time there had been a peace treaty between the gangs, and we had hired a few of the guys on as technical consultants and emissaries to the neighborhood. To the scene where we're all just sitting on the wall drinking beer and the police comes around the corner chasing them down the alley. Now the guys all around them dressed in purple are real guys. They're all like giving each other pounds, drinking 40 ounces and everything like that. Then there's a scene where O-Dog goes to Caine's grandparents' house after he comes back from the hospital, and everybody in that scene is from that neighborhood, and a lot of them are gangsters.
We always watching our backs because, you know, we didn't know what was gonna happen being in that neighborhood.
Get your ass up out the car, nigga.
We had a few scary moments where sometimes a person on the crew might say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing.
But it was nothing major, man. They loved us down there and we loved them.
Hey, nigga, give up the car right now. Look at your ass, scared straight. Nigga, I'm just tripping with you.
Well, the story came from, you know, actually when we were 15 years old, we thought of, you know, we want to do a movie about a gangster and the lifestyle of how a kid comes to be a gangster or a hustler or whatnot. And we were just frustrated with the market, you know, what they were trying to portray as far as the streets, and we wanted to make something that we wanted to see and our friends wanted to see. So that's how we came up with the concept.
We consciously decided not to deal with a gang, like Bloods and Crip thing. After the script was done, we said, you know, should we, you know, use colors and rags and everything like that? And my bro was like totally against it. He was like, no, that's not what the movie's about. And he was like, yeah, we want to do something about a gangster lifestyle, but not a gang member, like an LA gang member.
Plus it's more universal when you don't like segment it to like colors, and like somebody in New York can identify with it, because New York audiences loved it.
I think the biggest influence on us is Martin Scorsese and Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma had captured us first because we just loved Scarface.
I mean, early on though, Spielberg, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark was like our favorite film. I mean, but we don't give him credit sometimes because we forget when we were kids, our eyes were still open to all that stuff, you know, that was going on in the film world. And we just give like Scorsese and all those guys credit because after we recognized we want to be filmmakers is when we really started liking those guys. That movie, Goodfellas, was the one thing we compared our film to. In fact, we watched that before structuring the script because of if you notice in the beginning of our movie, the characters, how they're introduced, how everything goes down is just like Goodfellas. And we said to ourselves, here's a legitimate gangster film that the American film community has embraced and loved, and the critics love it. And if we model our film after this, then they won't be so much flack. And we don't consider ourselves black filmmakers. We consider ourselves filmmakers who are black. And we might tell black stories, and that we might tell them the rest of the way, but we're still filmmakers first. So
yeah, it's like funny in every interview we do or every publication you see African American filmmakers.
And people nowadays, with black cinema especially, they want you to teach instead of entertain. And it's all up to the individual coming in the theater what they think. You know, if you think one thing and I think another thing, we walk away with two different messages from the same film.
And the weird thing is now, it's like, we're not even considered artists anymore because you gotta have this social responsibility, and art shouldn't be considered socially responsible. You shouldn't have to be socially responsible in art. You should be able to do what you want to do. If your vision is cricket, if your vision is racist, it's still your artistic. That's you. That's what you're doing. You know, that's your personality. You shouldn't be imposed by this outside people going, don't do this or do this or whatever. You know.
Won't you come to Kansas with us? What, nigga?
Hey, man, y'all need to stop calling each other niggas. That's what y'all need to stop doing.
Anyways, nigga, I said.
Oprah is Miss Positive, and we had heard through the grapevine that she had said this is a terrible movie, don't go see it, negative and all this other stuff. And that was kind of a stamp of approval for us. We're like, if Oprah hates this movie, that's good for us, basically, because we're not going for the Oprah crowd.
What surprised us most about the response to the film is the fact that anybody liked it. I mean, we knew the script was good. We knew if we stuck to the script, it'd be a good movie. But there was a lot of things that we didn't get, and we weren't satisfied at the end with the movie. And we especially didn't think the critics were like they're gonna smash this film, whatever. But we were prepared to take that. I didn't really care at the time. And then once they all jumped on the film, it's like something that you're like, oh my God, you know.
Menace II Society, and this is one of the strongest and bleakest and most powerful movies I've ever seen about the crisis conditions of young blacks in the inner city.
You know, our only message we were sending out was understand how these kids can become, you know, these criminals out of desperate conditions, and that's the only thing we wanted to get across, not that's all this other stuff that everybody's talking about. They were saying this and they were saying that. We were saying one thing, and that's understand, and understanding it means a lot of things, I guess. So come in with an open mind and walk away with.
We had a lot of people, other than black people, other than Latin people, come up to us and say, wow, I never knew that happened to these kids, or that's where they came from, and that's why the way they are.
I done too much to turn back, and I done too much to go on.
Do you care whether you live or die?